Olá, meninos, meninas e meninas, tudo bom? Antes de começarmos, cliquem no like e se inscrevam no canal caso ainda não tenha feito isso, beleza? E estamos de volta aqui nos últimos minutos antes do início da live da Netmarble, Marvel Future Fight, sobre o update v700, o update dos Illuminatis. Então vamos atualizar aqui, né, a todo momento para poder ficar por dentro. Vou fazer depois. Bom, dá tempo, né? Vamos fazer então o react ao trailer do Shang-Chi. Vamos ver se vai dar certo aqui o áudio. É bom que eu testo.
Eu lhe dei 10 anos para viver a sua vida. Você andou na minha sombra. Os homens mais perigosos do mundo. Filho, pode chegar ao meu lado. Isso não vai acontecer.
Quem é você? Se segura, pessoal! Trabalhe em equipe!
Muito bom, muito bom. Cara, isso aqui vai ser show de bola. É, deu uma picotada no som, né? Então, se eu colocar o fone, não sai o áudio. Esse que é o problema, entendeu? Se eu colocar o fone, eu vou ouvir o que está acontecendo aqui, mas vocês não ouvem. Quer ver? Aguenta aí então. Eu vou pegar lá, pera aí. E aí, tá com som? Porque eu tô ouvindo, mas é porque eu tô com o fone. Deixa eu carregar aqui a página porque a página aqui tá com delay. Então, mas aí o som para vocês tá aparecendo? Pelo menos isso? Perfeito. Gente pedindo para ver na TV. Tirar o som, né? Ou não? Sim, sim, é só para dar um tempo aqui mesmo. Faltam 8 minutos. Salve negativo, beleza. Vamos ver se eu consigo jogar aqui, né? Fazer uma... Uhum. Beleza, vou tirar aqui. Não, é do jogo mesmo que ele dá esse problema porque eu tô com outras coisas abertas. Vamos lá então. Também tô bem curioso. Eu tô curioso para ver. Bom, vamos assim mesmo. O duro é o seguinte, né? Colocar um traje no mítico e trajes requisitos pelo menos de ataque no mítico também. Para isso você tem que ter pelo menos né? Se for fazer para pelo menos um personagem, você tem que ter 3 vezes 1050. 1050 mais 1050, 2100, 3150. Vixe, eu tô achando que a gente vai ter o início da live da Netmarble e não vai ter aqui a partida. Ah, bom. Sim, Tonho vale muito a pena. Taserface! Agora a gente tá lascado. Taserface tá na área. Putz, desviou. Ai, 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 tá não, aí não, gente, aí não. Ixi. É, tinha assim uma certa esperança, né, de a gente conseguir, mas não foi desta vez. O, o Taserface, ele apareceu em Guardiões da Galáxia Volume 2. Ah, dá tempo não, Gray. Já vai começar, ó. Falta menos de 3 minutos. Então, né, eu preciso dar um jeito nos vídeos, né? Eu tô com material para fazer vídeo, só que eu não tô conseguindo fazer a edição dos vídeos. Eu tenho vídeo de consumo de materiais para upar o Nu, tenho as kills do... como é que é o nome dele? Do Mephisto. Então, Gray, o problema meu é o seguinte, eu não tenho PC que aguente. Não, não, o meu problema, né, fora o PC, é tempo. Você entendeu? É tempo, sabe? Parar para poder fazer a edição do vídeo. Porque até que assim, eu consigo editar de boa os vídeos aqui no celular. O meu problema realmente é o tempo. Tá difícil. Tá difícil. Hoje mesmo eu fiquei. Quer ver quanto tempo? Eu fiquei fora de casa, acho que umas 4 horas. Fora a correria que eu tive que fazer aqui também.
Welcome to Marvel Future v600 stream, v610 update version 620 update stream. I'm your host Kim, and as always, I'm very happy here with you. I am coming to you from my own living room, which is not how we usually do it, but we are living in unusual times, unprecedented times, and we are trying our best. We are trying our best to work hard, to stay safe, and to have fun. My friend Kate here. My Kate here. What's up, buddy? How's it going?
Really certainly happy to see you as well. Of course, like I said, certainly nice.
Eu acho que é por conta do próprio aplicativo.
Jury still out.
Okay.
Well, first, I didn't think you were glad. Hi, folks. I'm Galaxy Defender, Cosmic King. Swab classification.
Então, o meu problema é o seguinte.
Oh, God.
Meu problema aqui
I mean,
vai
you're
ser
positioning
deixar
into
mudo, eu não vou ouvir.
what was it in the comics?
Okay, so we're talking about the basis for this update. Dawn of Us is the yeah, let's do it.
All right. That's right. Hulk can TP this update.
And humans are set, and one is Earth X.
Queen demonstration power with newly added awakening skill.
Whoa!
What's up, guys?
Aí,
For another
não dá.
challenge run. I'm working out. Damn.
Doctor Strange Damnation.
Deixa eu ver se dá pra...
By Nick Spencer and Johnny Cage.
So for the the Lord of Chaos has now upgraded the badge.
Melhorou? O problema aqui vai ser... Quer ver? Eu vou fazer uma gambiarra aqui.
Until next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Vê se melhorou.
Welcome to the... Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Marvel Future Fight v700 stream. That is right, this is the 6-year anniversary for Marvel Future Fight, and we have a lot to celebrate in it today. I was just enjoying that highlight reel of the streams that we've been working on over the past year, and that was a lot of fun to think about and reminisce about. And I know some of you saw in your respective platforms where you're watching this very live stream some questions posed to you, but I'm just gonna verbalize them again, and you can please leave your comments in the chat where you see fit. So if you for instance, I'm just going to go over the 3 questions that we already should have posted, which were, what was your favorite update, an update teaser that over the past year? I do think the sneak peek team is just amazing, so it's hard for me to pick which one. We also have, what is your favorite character added over the past year? And lastly, which character got your favorite uniform and T3 over the past year? Let us know your thoughts in the chat, and we will get back to that very soon. But we have a lot of things to go over because, as I mentioned, this is the 6-year
É para
anniversary.
contar no chat oficial qual foi o teaser mais interessante, o personagem mais interessante e qual o uniforme mais interessante do último ano para cá.
We have a lot going on today. First, starting off the top, we have a new character coming to the game. I say new, but you may remember his face. It is the King of Hell himself, Mephisto, someone we're all familiar with.
Mephisto
we also
jogável.
have uniforms coming for Iron Man, Mr. Fantastic, and Professor X. We will be getting into that very soon, along with some other updates that are
Os
coming
3 uniformes que já apareceram nos sneak peeks.
you to survey rewards. There will be a survey at the end of this live stream, and you can get the link for that by refreshing the page where you are watching.
Ao final da live vai ter um link para uma pesquisa que aí você preenche com o seu ID que você obtém dentro do jogo para poder receber recompensas.
So we can be sure to get the rewards to the right account, and you should be able to claim that in game. There are a lot of other fun ways for you to claim rewards, including the pre-register event. You can register your email address on the event page and receive rewards on April 30th. April 30th is, of course, the exact anniversary day for Marvel Future Fight. There's also a coupon event you may have seen on our social media. You can enter a coupon code, and that is ready for MFF 6-year. And the 6 is a number 6, while the rest of the words are words, and they're spelled out. And you can receive rewards that way. iOS
Tá falando daquele cupom, né, para receber recompensa, né, do Ready for MFF 6.
A check-in event. Check in the game every day and get rewards. There are still many rewards
Ele
left.
tá falando das recompensas de check-in, né, de aniversário, da contagem regressiva de aniversário, que vão terminar no dia 30, que é o aniversário.
Let's take a look at this quick overview of what you can expect in V700.
Cara, com a cadeira mesmo. Eita! Potencial desperto pros 3.
Wow, it's a lot to take in. Just looking back at both the sizzle reel or the highlight reel from the past streams we've been in addition to just the sheer insanity, which is this update in itself. All that to say, hi everybody, certainly glad to be back and here to be with you during the 6-year anniversary live stream for Marvel Future Fight. Hello again, everybody, and of course, hello to you, Kim.
Hi, Cage. Welcome. It's good to see you as always, and to have you here to talk about all the stuff that's coming that everyone can look forward to.
Yes, it's certainly a lot. As you mentioned, it's easy to get out of breath with all the content we have to show. And of course, there are several things in there you probably have seen that weren't even in the initial teasers initially. So with all that to say, let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first thing we're going to show, we're going to go ahead and jump to the game cam, is those of you who mentioned in actually the Marvel Future Fight forum, is actually a change to the UI itself. So,
A interface já vai ser alterada.
Taking up a good portion of the screen here, but of course there are several different changes with the UI. The point of the anniversary, not point of anniversary, but one of the things you wanted to do in the anniversary, the team wanted to make sure everything was a little bit more comfortable and easy, a little more easy in the eyes. So we definitely want you guys to just take a look around. Again, we won't go into too much. We want you to be able to explore many of this yourself. But some things you can just see how, again, the store, team, and inventory is on the right side of the screen. We'll take a look at just the team menu here. Again, things just look very different, very changed. Again, we have, of course, we have the 3 characters, which we'll be going over later. You go back to the home screen. There's Professor X. You can see the inventory is on the left, right there on the screen as well. So you guys can go ahead and take a look. Like I said, we're not going to go into everything right now. We want you guys to be able to have fun exploring on your own. So you guys can look forward to that. So we look forward to seeing what your feedback
Parece mais limpo assim, a interface.
Fantastic. It does look a lot sleeker. And I do want to point out to everyone, just take this opportunity right now to say that the stream build may differ from the live build, so numbers and details may change to the final version.
That's correct. So of course, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into the new uniforms. Again, much to go over. As you can see, we have the 3 new uniforms coming so far. We have the Maker, we have Superior Iron Man, and we have Professor X in his a classic wheelchair. I can't really call it a wheelchair, though, can I?
Well, there's no wheels, so
no, there's not.
Not correct.
It is a cool chair, though.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead and take a look, starting with Reed Richards, the Maker. Kim, what can you tell us so far about this look?
Well, he is, as you sometimes called the Maker, sometimes Ultimate Reed Richards. He is the Ultimate Marvel Universe's version of Mr. Fantastic. And we are more familiar with Earth 616, Mr. Fantastic. This version of him is what he could have been had he applied his superior intellect to malice and evil.
Ele é do universo Ultimate e é vilão. Isso aí a gente já sabia.
So with this update, with this uniform, there are some changes to his passive skills. For example, 2 changes that come to his passive skills are for his shock absorption and his elastic skin. For example, for his elastic skin, in addition to his default effects, his skill and bonus damage actually get a good increase. In addition to that, his shock absorption T2 skill actually gets, instead of 30% damage to physical attacks, it's actually been changed to be able to have resistance to all damage. So there are some benefits you can look forward to for his passive skills. But that does it for passive. Let's move on to seeing his skills.
Vai ter aumento de ataque no traje.
Alright, the Maker is all set to go. A couple basic attacks. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at his first skill. This is the Expanded Hammer Fist.
I get why they call it that.
Pretty basic. It's a stunning attack. It just kind of does a lariat.
Ganhou soco no chão.
Next up is the Elastic Net.
Whoa.
We move over to these guys
Ficou
over here.
interessante esse.
So like he kind of extends his finger and just kind of lacerates his opponents. As you can see, it causes a little bit of bleed damage.
There's something scary about that. Nice details there.
This is the 3rd skill now. This is referred to as
Olha,
I had to take
a 3 ganhou um
It's a little
iframe.
bit confusing visually what it is he does. So at first he jumps in the air, just kind of barrages the enemy with his fists, and if you look at it one more time, it looks like he extends his neck and then just kind of, headbutts his opponent.
Só que não tem o buff. Deve ter passado para outra skill.
The rubber cannon, so I guess the cannon part is just part of his way he just takes
Esse movimento ele fazia com a 4.
So this is skill 4. I'm actually going to go ahead and redo this because the enemies aren't really in focus on that one. Let me reset that. This is his 4th skill. This is the Mad Bombardment.
Whoa.
This is a binding. Let me try it one more time again. Get it from this angle. This is a bind attack that kind of snares the enemy. And this will also increase your overall attacking speed. Like one more time.
There's just
Get some
something
cannons going.
evil about this version. Yeah, good job.
Next is the 5th skill. This is the Sphere of Insanity.
Oh, I get it.
It just kind of rolls over the opponents. Go ahead and do this one more time. Surrounds the enemy, goes to the ball, rolls them over, and just messes them up. One more time again, this is another
Tem,
binding
tem
attack.
aumento de ataque ali também, tem outras
Yes,
outras
actually
coisas,
ignores a good percentage of your
perfuração
enemies'
também.
overall dodge rate, in addition to actually just penetrating their overall defenses. This is the fourth skill. Yeah, and of course the developers are very kind enough to actually provide us some notes. So I'm actually going to read literally from what they wrote. They say after using skill 4, which is the Mad Bombardment, after using skill 4 you can continue to attack even if you link it with another skill. So it is recommended to use skill 4 first to obtain that buff, and follow it up with a powerful skill such as skill 5. Let's go and test that out. We're going to start with skill 4, Mad Bombardment. To get
E aí
that
corta
buff.
pra 5.
Okay. Wow,
There you
that's
go.
overwhelming.
So we're sure many of you guys playing might have some your own skills and different rotations of your own, so we look forward to checking that out in the comments. And just because we can, we have the T3 rolled up, let's just see how T3 looks in with this uniform.
Cool.
Alright, and there you have it. Once again, for those of you taking notes from the developers, they say they recommended skill
O
rotation.
velho
is
movimento
skill
ura ura
4,
ura ura
get that
ura
buff,
ura ura
and
ura
follow
ura
with skill 5,
do
take
Jojo.
that good damage. And that does it for the Maker.
All right, thanks, Cage. Let's move on to our next uniform.
That's right. Next uniform on our list is everyone, or not, well, depends on who you ask. My personal
Não
favorite,
peguei
have the
o
superior
canal Mega Drive.
Kim, what can you tell us about this look?
Well, very much like the Maker being a villainous version of Mr. Fantastic, Superior Iron Man is a villainous version of Tony Stark. And he does have a titular comic series. He has the darkest possible
Não.
qualities that
Só,
Tony
só
Stark
conheço o
has,
meme
or
mesmo.
has merged into a single being.
Alright, awesome. So again, with
Like
this skill,
realizing a dark potential.
that's a good way to put it. So
Yeah.
for this skill, not for this skill, for this uniform similar to the Maker, Iron Man's actually listed as a supervillain. You'll have 4 new skills, and to open up his passive effect, his passive skills have been changed for precision aim. For example, his critical and dodge rate have been increased up to around 15%, along with his energy attack. Again, these numbers aren't exactly going to be present possibly live, so again, not all these numbers are exact. And for his passive skill evasive maneuvers, again, critical damage actually has been increased to 50%, while skill and bonus damage also has an increase as well. So looking forward to that. So next up, let's go ahead and see.
Então, aumento de dano na skill passiva
So he
dele.
has 4 new skills.
Também virou
First
vilão,
skill
né?
is the Twin Blade, but again, those of you who have his endgame skill, you'll notice not much of a difference there. Next up
Iframe.
is the new skill. This
Legal.
is skill number 2, which is the Flare Launcher.
Sim.
Well, that was surprising.
That attack goes pretty fast. Let's try it again.
Yeah.
This is an energy and burn attack. You can just launch this in the air, gives him a good repulsor blast. Boom.
Yeah.
É um semi-iframe, né? Que o ataque final fica vulnerável.
Take a look at this. This is referred to as the Iron Drone. So those of you who remember the comic for Superior Iron Man, he had drones that he would use to survey. He used the drones for different purposes. But yeah, these are some of the drones as you can see.
Eu não consigo identificar o buff, mas é também de aumento de dano aqui.
A little bit of damage immunity.
Wow.
There it gets good.
Really has a wide net, doesn't it?
You can use that as a pretty hefty buff. I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah.
to these poor souls over here. I'm gonna use skill number 4, which is the Superior Strike. Yeah, so after hovering in the air for a little bit, he then jumps up, comes in, and he gets him with almost like a photon axe. Take a look at that one more time.
It was like an action pose of swinging
Bacana.
a huge sword or an axe or something.
Yep, this attack does
Por
shock
causa
damage.
de buff.
We're going to go ahead and take a look at skill number 5.
Whoa. Whoa, it just keeps
So
going.
just with that attack alone, Kim, what do you think the name of this skill is called?
well,
do
I
this
know
one
what
more
the name
time?
of the skill is called.
Oh, you do already? Oh, okay, that
Yes,
kind of ruins the fun of it already.
It kind of kills it, doesn't it?
This is referred to as the reinforced unibeam, not just unibeam, it's the reinforced unibeam. So it actually
I
is
should
again.
have teased you and just said, oh, it's one beam, so I would call it the uni beam. And
You probably would have had me too.
It's reinforced. Damn, should have tricked you.
This is an energy-based attack that actually grants 100% or 50%
E ele fica em iframe, hein?
increased damage for the following attack. So once you go ahead and use this attack, your next attack will get a 50 to 100% buff. So you can choose whatever attack to link that with. Use it wisely. Right? And just because we can, we
também
already have
pega
the
buff de
T3
ataque
warm-up.
aqui.
Let's see how it looks with the T3 active.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and reset this here. I'm going to go take a look what the developers have to say. According to the developers, they say it is recommended to receive the buff effects from skill number 3 and then skill 5 to make the best use of skill 4 and link it with other skills. So the recommended skill rotation is use skill 3 to get that buff, then skill 5, skill 4, or you can also follow it up with the T3.
Wow.
Another, we also provided a secondary recommended rotation. Again, opening up with skill 3, give it skill 2, skill 5, and then you can follow it up with 4 or his T3 ability.
There's just so many.
It's a lot going on the screen.
Yeah. You know, I don't think that's one or uni beam anymore.
And that does it
3,
for
2, 5,
Superior
4
Iron
também.
Man. Of course, we still have plenty more to go over. Next up, as you already saw, Professor Xavier has a nice little feature there. Kim, what can you tell us about
Yes.
Charles and this new look?
Well, this is a fun uniform for, I think, fans of some classic Marvel series who you might recognize this appearance from. I like it a lot.
No, I'm the same because again, I've been a fan of the animated series, so just being able to see this look, it's very reminiscent of the older days.
That logo too. It
Yeah, just
makes
that
my
icon
heart
at the bottom. Yeah, so.
I know.
So, for a quick thing about this uniform is a little bit different in the sense where it's not.
Tô só pensando na velocidade de movimento
So
dele.
there aren't really many skill effects that come with it. Similar to
Vai
Nightcrawler
manter.
in the previous update, this is more of just a fun skin with a tiny bit of changes and a little bit of addition. For example, for this uniform, the passive skill that comes with this uniform is that you just get a 10% increase to mind damage. Again, that's not really much, but again, this is more of a fun uniform for those who like to collect, those of you who are just fans of Professor Xavier in general.
Aumenta
So
a
we're
dano
going to go into more
mental
details, so you can
em
go ahead
15%.
and take a look and judge for yourselves.
All right.
All right, he's all set to go. Chair's all powered up. Mine's all set to go. Let's go. Again, just the basic attack. So we're going to go ahead and start skill 1. Again, a lot of these attacks aren't really new. They just have a couple minor tweaks. So let's take a look at this one. So many of these attacks are going to be the same. Again, this is memory manipulation. Similar to the mental shock, but the only difference is that it decreases the mind blast or mind resistance by close to 30%. However, it also does a little bit, it takes 80% away from the energy.
Tem uma
attack
redução de
skill.
resistência mental na skill 1.
Let's get it from a different angle that we can see more of him and his
Yeah.
glorious chair.
Let's see his front side. Whoa.
This is just mechanical move. Whee. There you go.
It's
Just want
pretty
to get that.
smooth.
Smooth action. Mike just moves better than my car. Just take a look at skill number 2, which is the mental disruption. Again, pretty
Dare
similar
say
to.
it's much better than your car.
Yep, that would make sense.
Wireframe.
So for mental disruption, again, it's just a skill that decreases your enemy speed and mind resistance while dealing about 35% mind damage. The only difference in this one, I remember I double-checked this, is that here he lurches forward, where in his previous uniform he moves backward. So again, just minor tweaks. It's more for fun. This is skill 3. This is the energy wave. Again, this is similar to the brainwave warp in his original uniform. But the only difference also is that it does 30% damage. It grants 30% additional damage for your next attack. Nice.
Tem proc de ataque na skill.
All right.
Nice. Always fun. Next, we're going to take skill 5, which is mind over matter.
Whoa. They look like they've had their minds blown.
I see what you did there. So again, similar to mind over matter skill with the previous uniform. The only difference is if you notice, like visually, just the little effects at the bottom there are just it's different. Again, we look forward to your opinions. For those of you who are fans,
Tem os mesmos
like
efeitos
myself,
da skill
so much the animated character
sem
look
traje.
is something for you to look forward to, and that does it for
Efeito de
some
debuff.
of the uniforms.
Oh, you said some in such a strange way, but we'll get back to that soon. Those all look very good, so we have new uniforms for Iron Man, Mr. Fantastic, and Professor X. But of course, that can't be all.
Oh, of course not. For those of you who were looking at the market video, you probably noticed there were a couple of new uniforms in there that weren't in the initial teasers. That's
They
because
looked fantastic, Kate.
exactly. You jumped ahead of me on that pun. Yes, we have some fantastic new uniforms for that, and of course we have to take a look here. That is Mephisto. We'll go over him in just a moment. But we have some of the classic new uniforms for the Fantastic Four. We have it for the Human Torch, Invisible Woman, and the Thing. So of course,
Trajes clássicos pros
these characters
três.
also have awakened skills. So again, we don't have to go through all of them. So we're going to go ahead and just take a look at Invisible Woman's skills. It's all set to go. Again, the skills are similar. Are similar to the Future Foundation uniform. The only difference is there actually is an awakened skill. So we're going to go ahead and because again we have a lot to go over. We're just going to jump straight into the awakened skill. So for the Invisible Woman, we have the Force Field Fury. And again, of course, you see the multitude of the other Fantastic Four skills. Take a look at that one more time.
I love watching the team work together.
Of course, we have a variety of effects going on. So this is the attack that actually decreases your opponent's overall defense, causing incapacitation, in addition to actually increasing your own critical rate and damage while removing debuffs and the like. Now you can see the Thing jumps in,
Very
Human
cool.
Torch.
Yeah.
There you go. And that's
I
it
like
for
watching teams work together like that.
awakened skills. That's the best way to see it. So again, of course, both Human
As
Torch
skills dela não mudam em relação ao traje anterior,
You can take a look at that on your own,
tá?
and we look
Por
forward
isso
to
que ele já
seeing what you
partiu
guys have to say about it.
para habilidade de
So that does
esperto.
it for the new uniforms.
All right. Well, you didn't say some of, so I think that is actually true this time. We are done with the new uniforms, but we have yet to see our new character in action.
That's right. Kind of jumped ahead of myself when I pushed the wrong button. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at team number 2, which is Mephisto. Sneak peek, a little bit a sneak peek of a sneak peek.
Bom, fica mais forte. Fica mais forte com certeza porque é traje novo, mas
Don't know about Mephisto.
I think a lot of us know who Mephisto is. This is a much lauded Marvel character. He is, from another dimension.
tem efeito diferente ali na skill, hein?
King of a little pocket of
Tem umas
the world he
setinhas
likes to
ali.
call hell.
Oh, he likes
Adversary
Okay.
to many.
That's right.
Yes.
So he has this is a very unique character. The developers gave us a lot of notes with this, so we're going to try to sum it up the best way we know how. Those of you who already suspected, those of you who've seen the teaser as well, of course, he is a natural T3 supervillain, and he has. I'm sorry, I might have jumped ahead of my notes again. But yes, let's go ahead and just jump straight into his passive skills. For example, one of his passive skills is Burning Resurrection, and of course, as expected with infamous character like himself, when he is killed, he revives at up to 90% HP. That is referred to as his Burning Resurrection.
Passiva dele, ele ressuscita com 90% de HP.
This skill is a little bit more complicated, so I had to get this done with my notes. This, for his T2 skill, he has what's referred to as Rage of the Pit. So the literal notes I got from the developers, he gains a demonized devil effect, and he gains additional skill and bonus damage up to 35%, decreasing damage, being able to reflect damage up to a certain percent, while also being able to reflect damage while also receiving reduced damage received from reflect damage. A little bit complicated if you can follow that, but again, we'll go more into that. We actually
Ele
take
tem reflect também.
So let's go ahead and take a look.
Okay. Menacing.
All right, he's all, look at him in his infamous glory, his insidious ways. So this
Claro,
is just
como
this is basic attack. I'm just doing my
tutorial, ele tem que atacar estalando os
I can't tell if
dedos.
he's snapping or if he's just pointing. He's giving a little bit of a type of deal.
Gente, é
Anyway, I
isso.
thought that was cool. Let's move on to his first skill, though, which is the Hellfire Pillar. Basic, but still does quite a good amount of damage. Take a look at that one more time. So this does at least 30% damage for every second that is active. Let's take a look at that again. To 30%
Dano de
burn
queimadura.
damage.
Nice.
Also remove any active buffs on your opponent. This is skill number 2, which is the Evil Inferno. Take that again, does a little bit of a stun there. And of course, all those attacks are burn damage. Don't need to, it's kind of a given there.
Just a
Yeah,
lot
another skill that
fire.
it's another skill that removes buffs on your opponents, doing burn and stun. So this is the skill that's a little
Causa
bit unique, ties into
atordoamento
his,
e
passive
dano de
mentioned earlier.
queimadura.
This is referred to as the Dark Awakening. Now you kind of have to notice something a little bit different. Does he look a little bit different to you?
Yeah, he looks
Buffzinho,
enormous.
básico.
That's right. He's now referred to as a giant. I guess the stat now changes to giant. Though of course his basic attack changes as well. Well, what makes this unique is, so for example, you can see on his part of his passive, he does increase damage to superheroes. That's kind of by default. I'm going to go ahead and change back, push
Aumento de
the
dano
skill
contra
again, switch back to
super-heróis.
Fiend. This is referred to as Fiend when he's normal. Go ahead and go back. So when he's Fiend, he does damage, damage to the superhero faction. However, when he uses the skill again, the Dark Awakening, and what's referred to as Giant, is referred to as demonized, he now does damage to supervillains. Though, according to the developers, what
E
makes
não pode ser
this more special
removido,
is that
isso é
he's pretty
interessante.
well-rounded in the sense where when he's in Fiend mode, he can do good damage in PvP, but if you want a little bit more of an advantage in PvE, just go ahead and use that skill, and you'll be able to do some good damage there.
He's a villain among villains.
That's right.
Super villains, as it were.
Can't trust him. He's on all sides. This is skill number 4. I'm going to actually revert back to his Fiend form. Because one of his skills actually looks different, but we'll talk more about that later. This is the Burning Nightmare.
Causa
I'm
medo.
going to reset this over here so I can get everybody rounded up.
They do
Causa
seem
medo
like
e
they're
outro
having
debuff.
So the Burning Nightmare causes stun,
No,
fear,
não me
initiative
lembro.
to decreasing their overall defense while increasing your overall attack, speed, attack, and defense. I said speed twice. That's because you go twice as fast.
Yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and use this skill now. This is skill number 5.
Ooh.
I just like the effect of having the different hands is kind of bringing your opponents into the underworld, because that's what it's called. It's called the
scary.
Underworld Explosion. I'm going to try to get more people in on this. I'm going to actually get them in. I'm going to bring them in.
Come
My boys,
here,
over here.
you wretches.
All set. Just do the skill again. This is the Underworld Explosion. This is actually a skill that actually causes mind control in addition to decreasing your enemy's fire resistance. So this is a good debuff to have when combining your other fire skills as well.
Tem redução de
Also increases your HP as
defesa
well. Again, this is a skill that
a
keeps on
fogo.
giving. Anyway, fun stuff. But here's the thing. So I'm actually going to do the skill again, but first I'm actually going to switch
Tem
into the
controle
giant.
também, controle mental.
I'm going to do the skill again. Looks a little bit different now. The hands are gone. It's just a giant tornado inferno that's going on, that's consuming your opponents. Let's do it again. Let's bring that flame up. Take enemies down.
Muda skill.
Yeah. And that's it for that. However, of course, I mean, is it really everything? It's not, because we have, of course, T3. Let's go ahead and start.
What a surprise! Whoa! That is a surprise.
Right, those of you who have been playing, of course, the World Boss Legend will recognize that form. This is referred to as Soul Finality.
A área de efeito é boa,
Warm it up
hein?
again so we can see that skill.
Ooh. This is just a horror show.
So while I'm actually warming up the T3, I'm actually going to go ahead and read some notes from the developers. So what they mentioned, Fiend being his current form, the Fiend goes well in PvP, as I mentioned, while the Giant form actually goes well in PvE, making him a well-rounded character. For his rotation in his Fiend form, they recommend doing skill 5, canceling after you use a shield, and then use skill 2. Then cancel after the summon, and then use skill 4.
5, 2 e 4, a sequência de skills dele.
And then when in Giant mode, let's try this. They recommend, again, something a little bit similar. Use skill 5, cancel after the tornado,
Cancela no tornado.
summoning the fire, and then use skill 4. I messed that up. Let's try that one more
Aí
time.
usa
Giant
4.
Skill 5, cancel after their tornado.
Aí, ó. Quando vem o tornado, puxa 4.
Yeah, it's actually skill 5, 2, and 4, but we don't need to see that. But once again, for those of you paying attention at home, it's skill 5, use after the tornado, use skill 2, cancel after you summon fire, and then finish it up with skill 4. So now let's go ahead and take a look how it looks with the T3. So again, a multitude of effects happening. We have silence skills such as silence, incapacitation, decreasing the enemy's overall defense while increasing your HP recovery by up to 30%. Also ignores a good percentage of your opponent's dodge rate while penetrating their defense and increasing your overall attack.
Bom, a skill T3 tem
20%
diversos
for your next
efeitos, né?
attack. And that does it for the King of Hell himself. That does it for Mephisto. So we look forward to seeing what fans have to say. If you prefer his fiend form, if you prefer
Salve, Gabriel.
his giant
Difícil,
form,
hein?
we look forward to seeing what you all have to say.
Não tem nem livros.
He looks great. He's very true to form, I will say that. All right, Cage, thank you very much for that. Of course, we've gone over uniforms. We have our new character. We have our new Tier 3. We have a new UI look, which you're looking at right now. But that's not all, right, Cage?
No, again, this is the update that keeps on giving. So for those of you who've seen the forum as well, again, we do have one additional mission set added to this update. So a lot of players were kind of confused and thinking if it was similar to the deploy missions in the Shield Lab. Understandable, but it's not exactly the same. So as you can see here, we have story missions, dimension missions, epic quests, but there's a little something new, and that is dispatch missions. So a little bit of a heads up, because I was testing this mode a little bit earlier.
Novo modo para poder mandar os personagens trabalhar.
Just specifically made for this live stream. So some of the features aren't exactly, will not be perfected until the live version, and sometimes there might be a little bit of freezing as I'm going over this, so just bear with me as I'm going to try to explain some of the features in this update. So, as you can see, I only have 3 missions currently open for this. So how this works,
Os 3 do quarteto vão receber a habilidade de esperto e transcender.
And there's different things that comes with it, so I'm going to go ahead and tap on the first one here. Here you can select team up to your pre-selected team of characters, and what makes it different also is that when you play, that you actually have the ability to there is no cooldown when actually switching out characters. So of course you can see also, again, it seems similar to story missions, but again, it's a little bit different. We're going to go ahead and demonstrate that. Okay, so I'm going to do this, do a little bit of manual play.
Looks good. A lot of familiar moves going on.
Get some buffs going too. So again, as you can see, my 2 other teammates are actually already on screen. They're already doing damage on their own. And again, as I mentioned, there's no cooldown when switching to opponents. I'm actually going to do a skill that's going to require some skill animations. While he's doing that, I'm switching to the Maker.
Você pode alternar entre os personagens que estão na tela, só que os outros, ao invés de sumirem, eles continuam na tela.
Good problems.
I'm going to switch to Professor X, who's still rolling behind back here. Look at him trucking on that chair. I'm going to take on Ultron. Who is already down. Again, this is an earlier stage, so again, enemies are going to go down a lot faster than anticipated. Switching out to the Maker.
Cara, ficou muito bom o Homem de Ferro. Pelo menos nas skills, né, a aparência das skills tá bem bacana, assim, o trabalho que foi feito.
The rewards are not exactly going to be the same when we're doing my build. So this is something basic in terms of being able to complete. So what makes it different, again, they mentioned this dispatch mission. So it's a mix of being able to both acquire new rewards in addition to both playing, and also you don't have to necessarily be active in playing this too. So again, it sounds a little bit confusing with what I'm trying to say, but this is why. So you look on the top right screen, portion of my screen, and you'll see this mentions growth grade or dispatch. I'm going to go ahead and click this button here, and you can notice that there is a variety of slots here. So I already have currently 3 characters displayed because I was playing this mode earlier, and what this actually plays into is actually able to gain additional rewards when not having to actually actively play. You can actually just what it is again. It's either dispatch missions where you actually can just dispatch your heroes and go on doing about your own, your own business, your own busy day. And all this time, your heroes are actually gaining additional rewards. Now the rewards
Aqui
are
você manda os personagens, né, para missão, só que eles vão automático e aí você recebe recompensas quando volta. Gold mais
additional rewards as well. So I'm actually going to go ahead and increase that. So there's not really a lot of rewards. The combat power again, is pretty weak. So I'm actually going to go ahead and unequip these guys. And I gain about, a measly 6,000 for, 490 gold. That's nothing. So I'm actually, what I want to do, I want to be able to gain, more rewards from this set. So I'm actually just going to auto-equip for this set for a second. And if you notice the combat power, exponentially increases.
Né, para poder mandar.
Sweet. And now, as you
Já
notice, the gold actually
completou.
increased to 120 gold per minute. Again, not all these rewards and the numbers, they aren't exact, so they may differ in the actual live build. So these are something to look forward to later on. So again, the whole purpose of this is being able to provide you additional missions and additional ways to actually obtain rewards. Again, some of the rewards aren't the same as what's being displayed here on this screen. So I actually gained a little bit of rewards here, as you can see. The reason being is because of when I was testing the mode out earlier, I actually had other characters equipped. Make sure I'm not looking at the wrong screen here. Yes. So again, the notes I have actually are kind of minimal in terms of what to explain for this mode, and also you can look for more details regarding how this game mode actually plays out on the patch notes when it gets closer to the time when it goes live. So that's something for you all to look forward to. So this is a game mode. The purpose of this mode is to gain more rewards, both actively and passively. So this is a good way to be able to make use of the characters that you haven't really used before. So there you go.
All right, thank you so much, Cage, for showing us that. I can't wait to see how people end up using this function. Let's move on to our next section. Now, off the top, I did mention that we are going to talk a little bit about some of the questions we posed to you earlier and your answers about your favorites there. Let's move on over to this other screen. I'm just gonna adjust my camera.
Agora vamos responder as perguntas, né, do pessoal que está assistindo.
It's the beauty of doing everything live.
You asked for it. So we have a few different questions we brought up at the top of the stream, and we're going to be reviewing what the fans have to say, what your voices are on your opinions on these. And the first question that I see here is, tell us which update or update teaser has been your favorite. And I see an answer here from Antonio EB, who answers Marvel Future Fight Thor update was great in my opinion. The Asgard update, that one was fun. It was beautiful.
Yeah, that was when Loki actually got his T3. We've been waiting for that one, for a long time. Just being able to finally see fan favorites come to life in that. It's always fun to see. It's always fun to see players say like, "Oh, I finally got my favorite character. I finally got Loki T3. Valkyrie finally gets an update or a uniform that looks similar to the comics." So that's always good to see.
I love it when it's connected to the comics. I mean, this seems to be an answer that a lot of people had. Marek Frashak said, and please forgive my pronunciation, Harold Thor is my favorite update. Odinson is my first T3. Congratulations
congrats
on that. Yeah.
Ele falou do primeiro T3 que a pessoa pegou lá. Cumprimentou por isso.
Fran EZL ARG says the Runaways update.
So
we also have...
Só na primeira vez, Gabriel.
There actually has not been a Runaways update, but it has been a request. We've seen many players actually been requesting.
It happens. Let's see. All right, let's move on to another question. Go ahead, Cage.
So the next question I have here is, so what is your favorite added character within the past year? Actually, I'm going to open up and ask you, Kim, what was a favorite character that we've recently added within this year that you've actually enjoyed?
Within the last year?
Personagem
I'm a big
favorito dela
fan
do
of the
último ano.
Immortal Hulk update, which was V620. Because I hadn't read Immortal Hulk before that update. I was familiar with Hulk and Hulk characters, but I didn't know how creepy it was going to be. I didn't know they had it in them, and then I was just really enwrapped in this comic about this different version of the Hulk, and I just love looking at different interpretations of this character, and what changes a little bit, what happens when we go deeper into what's going on, and I really enjoyed that one. I also really liked Red She-Hulk, who was also part of that update.
It was a fun update.
Red She-Hulk também, ela gostou muito.
I agree. I think Abomination was also another added character that we added in that update. which was fun. I didn't know much about the character up until we did that update, and just thought he had a very interesting character arc where he ranged from starting off as a villain and somebody, and then kind of redeeming himself and kind of having a sad end, also depending on the arc that you read. But yeah, that's one thing I do enjoy about working in this game. Characters that at least I myself, or many of us even on the creative, on the sneak peek team, many of you don't know, we start off, a lot of us don't know much info about about these characters until we start doing research on them. Sometimes, but then we start doing research on them, finding all these different unique little tidbits. We think, okay, what can we do to make a fun, engaging teaser that fans, both people who don't really know much about this character, but also people who enough to make them want to know more about these characters. That's part of fun. But we also wanted.
Speaking of, one person in the chat, Renzo Castro Cachet, answered that question. Favorite added character in the past year, Moonstone, and then 3 heart emojis. And Moonstone is one of those characters that I did learn a lot about. Yeah, via this game. We also have an opinion I agree with very much from Farhan Abbas. They said Ghost Rider T3. Huh? That was a runner-up for me.
Yeah, so not necessarily a newly added character, but definitely happy to see that
Também
he got
gostou
T3.
muito
He's
do...
been a fan request for such a long time. I remember seeing
Boa, great.
When we planned that he was finally going to get his T3 new immediately, just as a CM, and seeing all these different number of player requests that being able to see like, oh, finally this character's finally going to get T3. We're going to make several people happy with this. So always fun.
I mean, that does bring us to our last question. I mean, some of you double answered questions, which was, what was your favorite uniform or tier 3 this past year? And we have an answer here from Augustin Marengo, who says Human Torch. We have an answer, scrolling down. Mohammed Fazil says Ghost Rider, best uniform. I'm with you.
Well, which uniform? We had 2 uniforms actually.
Falou que era o Tocha Humana, né, o melhor uniforme. Aí o outro falou o uniforme do Motoqueiro Fantasma. Aí os dois concordaram.
Oh my God.
Cosmic Ghost Rider.
I feel so bad now as a CMP. Forgetting his name. Oh my gosh.
Motoca Cósmico também.
I love that comic. I love that comic. So seeing it come to life was awesome for me. We also have from Gil Salinas, same, Ghost Rider Tier 3. Carlo Stacco, and again, forgive me if I'm pronouncing these wrong. Black Panther. Luis Hernandez says Luke Cage. That one's solid, I gotta say.
Oh, just from the recent too. I agree.
Yeah. Dan Vargas says Ghost Rider as well. Adam Thornton says Rogue. Good choice.
Oh, there you go. Does anybody say anything? Has anybody mentioned the symbiote update?
No, not once. Buddy really? Yonsa says Iron Man.
Alguém mencionou o update do symbiote? Não.
Andrew Warren Werwidge agrees with me. Marvel Future Fight Hulk. Yeah, but I know you liked the symbiote update a lot.
Oh yeah, I mentioned even
just from our conversations.
Oh no, for sure. I remember mentioning back when we did the live stream a while back for that update. Just being able to, because when I first started the game as a complete noob, not knowing anything, Venom was one of the first characters I acquired.
Jogo, compensa muito mais fazer a batalha lendária, hein?
He was not T3 like at all. Anyway, so just finally being able to plan the teaser for that and just it was fun. It's always fun to see a fan favorite get both the uniform and the T3 that the fans have been wanting.
Definitely. I mean, I love seeing that crossover there of seeing characters from the pages just get in the game and freaking own and be really accurate to who the character is.
It's fun, and like I said, it's always fun to just over the course of the year seeing just the different changes, the different features, not just for the added character, but the different game features that give people.
Eles estão falando assim, né, das mudanças que o jogo passou, né, no último ano, os personagens que entraram no jogo, que foram aprimorados no jogo no último ano. E teve muita mudança assim nesse sentido, né, no último ano.
All right. Well, thank you all for submitting your answers to our fun little
Lembrando que ao final da live vai ter um link, tanto no Facebook quanto no YouTube, para poder acessar a pesquisa e receber recompensas por isso, tá?
of about the things that we do. I mean, I was looking
Lembrando
at
que isso que eu estou falando é em relação às lives do Marvel Future Fight,
there's a lot of you just
não
having
na
a great time
retransmissão
there,
aqui.
and I love to see it.
It's been fun. It's been a great year, and we look forward to seeing what the future has for the future fight.
Okay, very apt, very apt.
You're welcome.
Well, I will say that does just about do it for this very special live stream for Marvel Future Fight V700 6-year anniversary update. We've been over so much today. We have 3 new uniforms for Iron Man, Mr. Fantastic, and Professor X. We also got a new
2 new
character,
uniforms, by the way.
Mephisto. Oh, yes, yes.
I'm sorry, 3 new uniforms for both Human Torch, Invisible Woman, and
Vamos ver se eu consigo mandar aqui, né? Quando aparecer, se
And
aparecer.
then we also got to look at this new UI. We have our dispatch missions. We have a new tier 3. And Cage, we have so many things going on for people to claim rewards in game.
Yes, we do have a. It's like it's just easy to lose breath. We have a multiple events to commemorate these things. Okay, I'll try. We have a multitude of events to go through for
Vamos ver se eu consigo aqui, né?
6-year anniversary. Again, as you mentioned earlier, we have a pre-register event. Players can actually register their email, pre-register for the event, and require a multitude of unique rewards for that. There's also a coupon event as well. Those of you who may have already seen it across our Facebook and Twitter and Instagram as well, where there's coupons coming out for, such for example, we have biometrics, I believe is what we have. So the coupon for that, I believe, is ready for MFF 6 year. So it's ready, spelled out ready for MFF, the number 6 years. So you go ahead and put that in. And for those of you who are actually iOS users who are having any confusion at all on how to input those codes, actually, if you visit the forum, we actually have a walkthrough to show you how you can actually redeem those rewards. So both Android and iOS users can be able to have fun and be able to enjoy, you know, the many perks and gifts of the 6-year anniversary. And we're not done. We, of
Aí
course,
tá
have a
falando
check-in event
das
going on,
recompensas de check-in, de
as
todas
well. So please share
as
to like the
recompensas
game
em geral,
control
né,
to
que
this out on a
estão
single
sendo
day,
dadas ao
and
longo
site
da
the
contagem
menu.
regressiva
So
até o
be sure to log
aniversário
in,
no
and
próximo
again,
dia
for those
30.
for updated information, always just check out our page on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, YouTube as well. We have plenty of stuff going on.
Quem
So
quiser
go
aproveitar mesmo tem que
forward to
logar
that.
todo dia, não tem jeito.
Yes, and of course, you know, there's always more to come. As the Sneak Peek team has taught us, there is always something available for the eagle-eyed Marvel Future Fight fan. You know, you just never know what might pop up, so please stand by, please stay tuned to all that we have coming in the future.
Also, I gotta say, I feel a little bit cheated, or a little bit offended, because not once I wore this special uniform for, you know, the anniversary. Uniform. I can call it. I was gonna say alpha, but I said, hey, you know, MFF, why not go ahead and just use the terminology? You know, I got all dressed up. Not once did I get a single comment, not a single compliment.
Cage, I'm very sorry that I didn't give you the attention you deserve. You are a vision in red. You look great, my friend.
I'll take that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna, you know, I think that is actually it now. So I hope everyone really enjoys the 6-year anniversary and all the events that are coming surrounding it, everything that is coming to the game very soon. Thank you all for being a huge part of this year and every year and the future going on. Till next time, agents.
Happy anniversary.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
E acabou-se. Deixa eu atualizar aqui e ver se aparece. Só tem o pré-registro mesmo. Deixa eu ver aqui. Tem aqui o link para os eventos do 6º aniversário. E aí tem o botão de pré-registro. Para quem ainda não aproveitou, né, para fazer o pré-registro, faz isso porque vai ganhar um seletor T2, tá? Além de outras recompensas. Eu tô achando estranho porque falou de formulário, mas não tá aparecendo aqui. Vou dar uma olhada no YouTube aqui. Vejamos. Achei. No YouTube tem. Pronto. Então, pessoal, aproveitem, tá? Aproveitem que são 20 minutos para poder preencher esse formulário. 20 minutos a partir do término da live, então já está correndo o tempo. Ai, que estranho. É o que está aqui na transmissão do YouTube. Que estranho. Mas tenta aí, gente. Bom, o que eu achei a respeito do update, eu achei bacana. Achei bacana os trajes, achei bacana a vinda do Mephisto, né, T3 nativo. Já era esperado, né, porque isso aconteceu com o Nu, então óbvio que aconteceria com ele. E deu para ver que eles conseguiram transportar, né, o que ele é como chefe mundial lendário para jogabilidade dele. Então eu achei bem interessante isso. Realmente bem interessante. Só acho que poderia fazer ele extremamente roubado, né, com a skill T3 dele tendo um surto de fúria e dando hit kill, né? Não, brincadeira. Aí seria desbalancear o jogo, né? Todo mundo ia ter Mephisto só para ficar, né, aquele duelo de faroeste, né? Quem soltar T3 primeiro ganha. Eu acabei de mandar o Morte. Eu vou deixar até fixo aqui, ó. Deixei mensagem fixada, tá? Que aí fica mais fácil. Então, aí, pelo que o Cade disse, não teve alterações nos efeitos das skills dos 3 lá do Quarteto Fantástico, mas é bem provável que o efeito das skills tenha melhorado, tem mais dano, né? Eu especularia uma sinergia, né, para isso, mas acho que seria pouco provável, bem pouco provável. Aí, em relação a isso, né? É ótimo, porque aí dá para você usar o Quarteto Fantástico junto lá contra o Nu e contra o Mephisto. Então, por exemplo, você vai pegar o O read, ele vai ter o coisa junto, tá? Isso aí vai melhorar e muito para ele, porque tem uma passiva de aumento de dano contra super vilão que funciona só com o personagem do quarteto. Então é muito interessante. Eu arrisco a dizer que ele voltou ao meta. Eu arrisco dizer sim, tá? Ele como meta PvE. Aí, em relação ao Mephisto, né, voltando ao Mephisto, como PVP e PvE, vamos ter que ver, né? Vamos ter que ver se é isso mesmo ou se não é tudo isso, né? Eu arrisco a dizer que sim, Gray. Eu arrisco a dizer que sim. Porque ele não quis mostrar as skills, né? Então, eu acho que provavelmente vai ter sim uma melhora. Eu espero estar certo nessa, né? Porque eu não gosto muito de especular, né? Mas nesse aspecto eu estou especulando e torcendo para que realmente tenha isso. Porque o uso do coisa é esse, basicamente. É para dar um suporte, né? Deixa eu ver aqui o que foi dito, Gabriel. Espera aí, deixa eu voltar. Vai focar o pai em quem agora? Bom, eu sou um tanto quanto masoquista, né? Então, eu vou focar no personagem mais trabalhoso que tem para upar. No caso, o Mephisto. Eu tendo a fazer esse tipo de coisa, sabe? Eu pego o personagem mais casca grossa para upar, para depois partir para personagens menores. Então eu fiz isso desde o Thanos. Eu upei primeiro a próxima e depois eu parti direto para o Thanos. Fiquei um tempão upando ele, né? Isso lá, né? Já faz 84 anos. Enfim, lá no início, né, eu fiz isso com o Thanos, depois eu parti para os outros de boa, né, porque eu já tinha passado pela dificuldade maior, então a minha tendência é upar o Mephisto. Vamos ver, né, vamos ver. Bom, pessoal, essa foi a live então. Muito obrigado a todos, todas e todos pela presença. Amanhã teremos uma live curta, porque provavelmente a manutenção iniciará às 20 horas, como tem ocorrido ultimamente. Então, teremos a live sim amanhã, missões diárias, só que será mais curta, né? Não vai dar para extrapolar o horário como eu normalmente faço. Beleza? Salve, Carlos! Seja bem-vindo, beleza? Então, gente, tomem cuidado com itens que vão expirar, tá? Se por um acaso esses itens expirarem durante a manutenção, perdeu mesmo, tá? Então, fica essa dica também. E novamente, pessoal, muito obrigado mesmo. Essa foi a primeira live da live aqui do canal. Espero que tenham gostado. E vamos ver se faremos muito mais outras. Beleza? Um bom jogo, um bom descanso e, por favor, cuidem-se muito mesmo, tá? Porque ainda estamos vivendo uma situação crítica nos hospitais e pelas ruas também, tá? Então cuidem-se e até a próxima live ou próximo vídeo. Fui, valeu!